All right. All right. Shalom Yasharallah. Before we get started, we're going to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, the teaching and rule well. Peace and salutations to the whole four elect. And we're back with another video, another lesson. And I got an article pulled up. This is from futurism.com. And the title says, Elon Musk compares his work to miracles performed by who the world calls Jesus Christ. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. Starting with the apostles and the elders on down, to the brothers of Great Millstone and those who, I'll say affiliates, those of the like mind doctrine. We've been telling you, excuse me, it's lucky if I'm burping a lot. I just got finished eating. But we've been telling you that these are the miracles that they're gonna come with. They think they want to play the role of God on the earth. Okay, and with this chip or the Neuralink, which is a brain chip, they're gonna use this as a it's gonna be like a new iPhone that's coming out. They got all it's well, let's say when the first iPhone came out, or the first few ones came out, everybody wanted one. So when this chip comes out, and it will, that's the one of the major prophecies we're still waiting on to be, to take place. Everybody's gonna. Some people are gonna push back on it, but a majority of people who gonna fall for the deception, they're gonna get that. They're gonna get the chip. They're gonna get the brain chip as well, and we're gonna show you why. And I'm gonna open another tab. Let's get to show you that this thing is already, into play. Okay. Just to show you. People are already doing this, or people are already doing this, over in Sweden. For example, it says, matter of fact, let's go back we'll read that, but let's read this first. It says, this is from futurism.com. It says, stop us if you heard this one before. A formerly beloved public figure eviscerates their own reputation, if I said that right. Salakia. Their own reputation via a years-long ego-driven crash out, eventually losing their sense of perspective in such spectacular fashion that they end up comparing their work to that of a beloved religious figure. No, we're not talking about the musician Kanye West, who kicked up a media fury more than a decade ago by comparing himself to Jesus Christ, the core figure in Christianity. This time is his sometime buddy Elon Musk, the frenetic and controversial businessman behind ventures including SpaceX and Tesla. Speaking by video link at an event in Israel this week, right, as spotted by MarketWatch, Musk complained that his Brain Computer Interface, or BCI, company, Neuralink, doesn't get the credit it deserves. Restoring control of people who are tetraplegics, if I said that right, and restoring sight, I think, are pretty big deals. Musk boasted. They're sort of what I might call Jesus-level technologies. To be clear, Neuralink offers a brain implant that with comparable functionality, functionality, if I should say, to many others on the market, allowing users to carry out routine computing tasks like typing and moving a mouse cursor using mental cues, using your mind. That's certainly pretty cool, but the New Testament of the Bible describes Jesus as the literal Son of God who performs extraordinary miracles such as healing a paralyzed man, restoring sight to the blind, and even bringing a dead person back to life, which is all in the scriptures. It's true that Musk has hyped up the possibility of restoring vision to the blind and movement to the paralyzed through future Neuralink tech, but the company has yet to show any evidence of those type of breakthroughs, and we're not aware of any plans by the billionaire to bring the dead back to life. Exactly. The falls into is a long pattern of braggadocio by the world's wealthiest man, who often makes bombastic claims that elevate his actual accomplishments into outrageous myth making, unlike Jesus, or who the world calls Jesus. By all accounts, a humble figure who impress with actual deeds rather than swagger and empty claims. You see, so this man, this Edomite, or Elon Musk, is comparing himself to the works of who the world calls Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai. You know, and our Lord, he did actual miracles. You know, as it named in the article, he healed a blind man, he healed a paralyzed man, and he raised Lazarus back from the dead. Which is, you know, he got that power from his Father. You see, now they're gonna come with those left-handed miracles. You know, they're gonna, but you know, they're gonna say, well, this can help paralyzed people to gain their, you know, walking ability, to gain their ability to walk again, their vision, you know, your hearing, if they, you know, if they do that, you know. But we've been telling you that this man wants to play the role of the Most High. You know, I'm gonna read this, Revelation 19:20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived. Let's get this word deceive real quick. But let's get miracles too, right? Excuse me. Miracles in the Greek is semaion. It's a sign, mark, token, that by which a person or a thing is distinguished from others and is known. It says, definition B says, a sign, prodigy, portent, i.e. an unusual occurrence transcending the common course of nature. See? So they want to transcend the course of human nature. They want to go beyond the limits of what the Most High created. See? And let's get that word deceive. I'm sorry. Deceive, because people are going to be deceived by this technology. Okay, to cause to stray, to lead astray, lead aside from the right way, to go astray and wander, roam about. Look at this definition A: to lead away from the truth, to lead into error, to deceive. So he's going to deceive you, because who's telling you the truth? The men of the Lord, the prophets who are back in the reincarnation, who are out on the highways and the hedges, who are out on the highways and byways, preaching and teaching His word. The true men of the Lord, I should say, to lead into error. They're going to lead you into error, man. You know, not only the government, but even even these Hebrew Israelite leaders. You know, I believe it was General Yahan who said, "Do you think God cares if you put a chip in your hand?" You know, these guys are just, they're going to lead their flock astray, their congregation astray. They're going to lead them into error, and eventually going to lead them to death. It says to sever or fall away from the truth. See? To lead away to error and sin. So these leaders are leading you into error, and then leading you into sin. They're not leading you on the straight and narrow path. They're not telling you that don't stay away from the chip. Don't take it. You know? So it says, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. So they're deceiving you, man. They're gonna come with that deception, right? Let's cross-reference this. Oh, let's get that other article too. To show you, Slovakia. To show you that this is already taking place. Sweden implants microchips in citizens, replacing IDs, wallets, and keys. What once read like a page from a science fiction novel is now a live reality in Sweden. Over 6,000 Swedes have voluntarily opted to have microchips implanted in their hands, replacing traditional items like ID cards, credit cards, and keys. This is not a government mandate. It is a grassroots movement driven by everyday convenience, and that's what it all boils down to: convenience and total control. Because it's convenient for you. You know, you can lose your wallet. You know, you can lose your keys, your ID, your credit card, and that can all be stolen, right? But if you have it inside you on a piece of a on a little chip, inside your hand, you can't lose that because everything is right there. Your medical records, your ID, your work badge, or whatever. It says the right size devices, typically inserted between a thumb and the index finger, rely on near field communication technology, the same system powering contactless. All right, bank. All right, so like you had a call come through, but we was back on this. It says the right size devices, typically inserted between the thumb and index finger, rely on near field communication technology, the same system powering contactless bank cards and mobile payments. They carry no battery and activate only when held close to a compatible reader. So this also means that money, physical money, green dollars, will no longer be needed. And this is over in Sweden, right? It says with a simple wave of a hand, users can unlock office doors. I want to highlight this. It says users can unlock office doors, validate train tickets, access gyms. Okay, you got now at the gym, you got it on your phone. You can scan your barcode and you can enter in, but soon it's going to be in your hand. And store personal information. Tasks that once demanded a pocket full of cards and keys. Some even use the chips to store medical information and connect with digital business tools. So this is going to be the new norm. It's going to be convenient for you to do, things like this. Sweden long celebrated for its technological ingenuity. It was already sprinting toward a cashless economy. It's not going to stop in Sweden. It's going to be all over the world. All right, let's read a verse to you. Okay, Revelation 3:10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." So it's going to be everywhere, not just in Sweden, not just in America, everywhere. And look at this word world. And if you want to trick a Christian up, ask them, when they bring up that John 3:16, ask them what's the definition of world in John 3:16 and the definition of world in Revelation 3:10. I got that from Apostle Tahar. Right, add that to my arsenal. But it says the inhabited earth, the portion of the earth inhabited by the Greeks in distinction from the land of the barbarians. Right, the inhabited earth, the world. So this is what it's talking about, the whole world. Okay, everybody's gonna go through the hour of temptation. Right? Are you gonna stand? Well, we know the heathen. Some, we know that people. Period. The heathen are gonna get it. Some are gonna stand. Their morals and principles, and they're not gonna get the chip. But we know that. Lucky. That most people are gonna take the chip. And their family members are gonna take the chip too. We're not gonna be exempt from this. We're gonna go through The same thing. You know, they're gonna try and test us. Are we gonna stand firm for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or are we gonna, because our kids crying and our families are hungry, are we gonna be like, you know what, I gotta get it, that might be in the back of your mind, but you gotta know that the Lord said this, okay? Isaiah 65:13. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, that's his name. Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for a vexation of spirit. See, the people who are in the world, they're gonna be in a sorrowful state, But the servants of the Lord, of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, they're the ones that are gonna be rejoicing, because they're saying that prophecies are coming to pass. The prophecies are true, right? It tells you that in the book of 2nd Esdras. Is it 15? Yeah, there's a 2nd Esdras 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. See, these prophecies are faithful, are true. They're going to come to pass. I want to see what that says in the NLT version. The GNT version. I want to get 2nd Esdras 15:1. It says, the Lord says, proclaim to my people, who are his people, the Israelites, the prophetic messages that I will give you, and then have them written down, because they are true and will be fulfilled. Let's read that again. And then have them written down, because they are true and will be fulfilled. You see, these prophecies are going to be fulfilled. They're going to happen. You see, so this is going to come to pass, man. The brain chip, the microchip, these are all going to take place. You see, so your buddy Elon Musk thinks he has. They even think they're better than the Most High and his son. Like we told you, they want to play the role of God on the earth. Revelation 13. I'll start at 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now, who is this talking about? This beast is speaking of, this is speaking about America, or the horn, I should say. All right, let's read it again. I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Those two horns is the Republican Party and the the Democratic Party. I forgot what it goes back to the not Epicureans, but damn, I forgot what it. But it was back when, it goes back to Rome. Okay, and he speaks as a dragon, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, which is the Roman Empire, and caused the earth and them that dwell in therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And that's speaking of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is revived through America. That's the deadly wound that was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth and inside of men. Speaking of those nuclear missiles, or the atomic bomb, right? Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. Now the image is the system. You see, the bread and circuses, the government. The government is ran exactly is similar to the Roman Empire. You see, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. This is the word kill up. Now you're literally going to be unalive if you don't, partake in the system. They're going to ostracize you. They're going to call you. They're going to they're gonna you can't you won't be accepted in society if you don't obey to their system that they're gonna bring. But it says to kill in any way, whatever, to destroy, to allow to perish, right? If you get this, the the root word, it says of separation. So you're literally going to be separated from society. Verse 16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So it's going to be either your hand or your forehead, which is your brain. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 See, so this is their, this is their end goal, which is really it's the Lord's plan. He's putting a spirit on them to do this. You see, so, but we pray that the Lord, He has mercy on us to not, to mercy. We do pray He has mercy on us, but we also pray that He puts a spirit on us to stay away from the chip, man. So Lord willing, was edifying, and hopefully you got something out of it. We don't give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, that teach every well. Peace and citation to the full elect. Lord, we was edified. Thanks for what I'm going to say. Shalom.